Good morning, good morning, good morning. Another day of rising and shining to embrace this world. How you doing? I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. It is Tuesday, July 11, 2017, and we're out to shoot and running hard yet again. Today we'll discuss what's floating around in the rumor mill with Mike Davis. He headed out west for basketball coaching adventures. We'll dig a little deeper into the SWAC revenue that was gathered for the 2016 campaign. We'll continue to talk about a whole lot of other things, but more importantly, coming right down the pipeline is Media Day 2017 from Birmingham, Alabama. We plan to be there live and live in color for you to get things off and running. Welcome. Grab your cup of OJ, a cup of Joe, just a simple glass of water. Come on in. The water is great. How's everybody doing on this lovely Tuesday morning? We are a couple days off now from the beginning of SWAC Media Day 2017, and there's going to be a lot of buzz in the air, as it always is, because that's what it's all about. It's about getting your brand out there, getting your recognition out there. Everybody uses the word brand, brand, brand. Speaking of brand, Mike Davis' brand has continually to increase since he has established himself with Texas Southern. He has completed 5 years at Texas Southern. He has done a wonderful job at Texas Southern. Now with the recent vacancy out west with San Jose and the Spartans, there's rumor floating around that Davis has expressed interest in that job. But there are so many things that go in between this, that, and the other. And we'll talk about that once we take a quick break, and we'll come back to discuss the possibilities of Mike Davis heading west. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-8824.
The Open Mic Broadcast Network is a community-based radio station that was established in 2002. We have been dedicated to local, regional, and community programming with coverage for high school, collegiate sports, ministries, and information. Our goal is to provide quality, productive, and positive programming that reflects the community that we serve. Visit our website, ktorradio.com and OBN-Radio.com.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, radio guy Dr. Mike Prince, joining you each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy. You can also follow me on Instagram at OBN Radio. Before the break, we talked about Mike Davis and his potential exodus to out west, San Jose Spartans. When you look at it on paper, both sides of the paper, it does make a little sense that Davis could get that, but then you also look that he has signed recently an extension to remain with Texas Southern through 2022. What are you going to do about that? There's this thing called a buyout. And we all know that money talks and everything else walks. If Davis is really serious about that, then there's always negotiation process that goes on. But wherever Davis has gone, he has definitely proven that he can get the job done. Of course, he's most famously known for his stint with Indiana. After that, he took UAB, took the Blazers and won at the Blazers, and he's won at Texas Southern. 5 years in the Southwest Athletic Conference. He has gotten Coach of the Year 3 times. He has reached NCAA tournament, and he has done a great job. By far, you would have to agree, or if you might agree to disagree, the hottest name, the biggest name as far as the coaching tier goes in basketball for the Southwest Athletic Conference, and it's just a matter of has Davis reached his plateau, or does he feel like he's got a little bit more room to do, or has he done what he can do and he's going to pack his bags and move out west? We'll definitely keep an eye on this particular story. And speaking of keeping eyes on story, the most recent NCAA report has come in about the revenues that the Division I programs had gotten in. Now, they have a pretty unique way of gathering up revenue. It's all about this report is gathered on a number of things: ticket sales, contributions, and all sort of contributing factors. And there were 230 programs listed in this report. And to my surprise, at least, the last of the Mohicans on this report was Alabama A&M. Now, at the top of this report was Texas A&M. Texas A&M gathered in $194+ million in overall revenue for the 2016 campaign. And in contrast, the last of the Mohicans, as we just mentioned, Alabama A&M, for the 2016 season, according to this report, it doesn't seem right, but according to this report, Alabama A&M brought in $2.5 million in revenue. And according to this report, they had over $9 million in expenses. Don't know how that math works out, but we're going to break this down a little bit more. We got all of the SWAC reported revenues in, and we'll break all that down in just a moment. We'll take a break and come right back. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Run until that.
Larry's Automotive, located in the Field Store community of Waller County, is equipped to handle any automotive service or repair on your diesel or gas engine, truck, car, tractor, trailer, or RV motorhome. With in-house financing and scheduled service reminders, Larry's Automotive can handle it all. So give them a call at 936-931-5566. 936-931-5566, or look them up online at larrysautomotive.net. Larry's Automotive is an approved AAA Texas repair facility employing ASC certified technicians and a 2-time Better Business Bureau Awards of Excellence winner in automotive service. That's because they believe in running an honest business with a no-problem guarantee. Remember, every service visit comes with their 12-month, 12,000-mile nationwide warranty on parts and labor. That satisfaction worth the drive. So stop on by or call today, 936-931-5566. 936-931-5566.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Remember, we have a low-tech app, and that is simply the phone number that you can lock in on your phone, dial it up any time of the day, 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year, and you can get what's going on at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. That number is 605-477-5066, 605-477-5066. We are breaking down the SWAC revenue report. And I find it extremely interesting how one school could rake in, and we do, it's not really comparing apples to apples when you look at the platform available. But Texas A&M have $194+ million reported for their 2016 revenue from athletics. Unbelievable. Now, they break this down according to ticket prices, or not ticket prices, ticket sales. And you have contributions made, you have the student fees assessed to it, and any type of reserve fund or financial contribution from the institutions themselves. And, of course, all those are contributing factors into what was what. It's a more detailed report. You can get it from USA Today. That's where this report came from last week. And just going through it, and I'm not going to try and give you all of the detailed information right now in today's show, but we can perhaps break it down leading up to the SWAC Media Day, which will be this coming Friday from Birmingham, Alabama. And it is very intriguing on how these numbers are looking and coming out. Now, as far as the Southwestern Athletic Conference is concerned, there are some intriguing numbers that we have. The number one revenue school in the Southwestern Athletic Conference for the 2016 campaign was Alabama State. Now, Alabama State was 163rd in this USA Today report out of 230 schools. Alabama State reportedly brought in $15.2 million in revenue. Their expenses were $15.1 million in expenses going out. Now, they had budgeted $12.5 million for the year. So you could see a little profit in that. Now, what was interesting about Alabama State, at least according to the report that we had privilege to go and study, they had over $1 million in ticket sales. No, I'm sorry, it was $727,000 in ticket sales. That's a very impressive number. Very impressive number. Number two in the Southwest Athletic Conference at 172 on the overall report was Southern University. Southern University reported $14.5 million in revenue, and they had $13.7 million in expenses. And the budget that the Jaguars had for the year was $10 million. So now the Jaguars had over $1 million in ticket sales. Very, very impressed with that. And I think I got to retract and go back. Alabama State had $1 million in ticket sales as well. It was one of the other ones coming up here. Now, here's one that really intrigued me. Prairie View A&M University, number 3 in the conference, number 201 on the list of 230. Prairie View A&M University reported $11.8 million in revenue, had $11.4 million in expenses, and had a budget of $9.3 million. But the number that intrigued me the most was ticket sales. Prairie View reported $267,000 in ticket sales. That was extremely low from my point of view, and we'll talk about that. We do have scheduled later on this week Athletic Director Ashley Robinson, and of course we'll approach that and address some of that. But $267,000 in ticket sales. Now, when you're looking at Alabama State, Southern University, those two just alone had $1 million in ticket sales. But the numbers get a little bit more interesting as we continue to go on. Number 4 on the Southwest Athletic Conference, number 208 in this overall NCAA report, was Texas Southern. Texas Southern reported $10.8 million in revenue. Texas Southern also reported $10.8 million in expenses. Texas Southern had $8.9 million budgeted, and Texas Southern reported just a shade over $450,000 in ticket sales. I think it was $467,000 in ticket sales. You can get a more clear detail on these from the USA Today report. I believe this report came out on last Thursday or Friday, but it's pretty simple to go back and retract these deals that we're going across right now. And number 5, 220 on the overall list, was Jackson State. Jackson State reported $7.6 million in revenue. $7.6 million in expenses, and a total of $4.7 million that was budgeted, but Jackson State had over $1 million in ticket sales. Very, very intriguing. Number 6, Arkansas Pine Bluff, 222 on the list. They reported $7.1 million in revenue, $7.1 million in expenses, and had a budget of $5.1 million. Once again, the numbers are what they are. They are what they are. And we're going to try to make some sense out of all this once we get done. Number 6 is number 7. Number 7. Grambling State, 223 on the overall list. Grambling State had $6.1 million reported in revenue and had $8.6 million reported in expenses and had a budget of $3.3 million. Grambling State sold over $700,000 in ticket sales. And I'm looking and comparing, apples to apples, oranges to oranges. The course with Grambling winning the SWAC football title and moving on, they are the hunted, if you will. And you seeing where they're lining up budget-wise, it will make you start looking and assessing and asking the questions. Yes, we know money does make difference, but is that all that it's going to take to make the difference? Next on the list, Alcorn State, 225 overall, number 8 in the conference. They had $5.4 million of reported revenue, $6.7 million in expenses, and they had a budget of $3.2 million. 228 on the list, number 9 in the conference, Mississippi Valley State. Mississippi Valley State reported $4.2 million in revenue and had $4.2 million in expenses and a $2.1 million budget. Mississippi Valley had ticket sales reported at $102,000. $102,000 for the entire year. And as we mentioned, bringing up the rear in the conference and according to this NCAA report, was Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M, $2.5 million reported revenue, had a $9.3 million expenses. That I'm hoping that number is off. I really am. And according to this report, I'm hoping this is an error as well. They had budgeted $363,000, and that just doesn't sound right. But that's what I'm gathering here from this NCAA report from the USA Today. What does all that mean, and how does that equate to whatever it is? We'll break all that down, and I'll show and share with you an area of concern that really, really intrigued me and baffled me at the same time about how certain things can be what they are when we always say that charity begins at home. And I'll explain a little bit of that in detail when we come back. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-8824.
This is Willie Simmons, head football coach at Prairie View A&M University. I'm sitting here with my main man, Mike Prince. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Listen to the Mike Prince Show weekdays on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. The speeding bullet is what we might have to call this program, because it truly, truly flies. Of course, you can catch up with us each and every day. If you happen to miss anything, always go to the website, OBN-Radio.com. Go to the talk show pages, and you can click on the Mike Prince Show, the sports report. We have Our Journey Alive. We got so much going on the network. You ought to be able to come and check us out. And if you can't keep up with us there, don't forget our low-tech app. All you have to do is lock in the number, 605-477-5066. We're talking and breaking down the budgets and the revenues claimed for the 2016 season for the Southwest Athletic Conference. And there was an area of consistency that I saw that is proof in the pudding that there is not just a local, regional problem. It is a SWAC problem. And when you go and look at the column of donations and contributions, it is very lacking in these schools that were mentioned. You go and look at your other universities that are given, and we're going to do some comparison to the MEAC as well. We'll continue to break this down a little more this week. As a matter of fact, we'll probably do some of the MEAC, if not tomorrow, the next day for sure, on how the contrast in the giving compared to other universities. And we cannot expect and cannot want anybody to change our situations if we're not willing to change them ourselves. Now, we have a lot of pride. We have a lot of rah-rah about us when it comes to our universities. We talk our smack, and we back it up. We hold up our Greek letters. We hold up our number one sign when our teams are doing well. But we have to be able to support that in the pocketbook as well. When you look at the numbers, it is already an uphill slope for these institutions. And I was taught that shade from a toothpick beats nothing at all. You might not be able to give a $10,000 a year donation, but you ought to be able to do $100, $200, $300 a year, and on the side of that, even if you buy a low-tier season ticket for support of your school, your alma mater. Just because you're not going to the game doesn't mean that your institutions cannot use your support. And when you look at this report, it becomes extremely obvious that the difference maker, we keep talking about how the NCAA and other institutions don't want us around. We got to want ourselves around. We've got to want ourselves around. Now, if you're doing your part, then don't take this to heart or anything. But on the other hand, if you are doing your part, encourage some others to do their part. We're all struggling. If you compare yourself to the top tier, which was Texas A&M, $194+ million, and we're looking at budgets of $12 million, $4 million, $9 million. There's no comparison. So every little bit makes the difference. Regardless of the experience that you've had, whether it was pro, whether it was negative, we've got to be able to invest back into ourselves. It's a conversation worth talking about, and I know that it's tight all over, but just looking at the numbers alone, I look at groups, and I look at financial, not financial, but institutional support pages where you have 3,000 fans following on Facebook. You have 20,000 in some. If each one of those were to do a simple $100 a year, if you got a fan page of your alma mater, whatever school you at. I looked at the other day, Tuskegee, which is part of our program family here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and we're excited about that. Their fan page had over 1,000 members. If each one of those 1,000 members give $100, you do the math. It is a systematic problem. And if we look ourselves in the mirror, we are the culprit. It's not anybody else. We got to make sure that we're doing our part. Yeah, we can talk crazy. You can talk crazy if you're contributing. Well, I got a right to talk crazy because I was a part of it. They did me wrong. Well, help to get it right, and let's support our institutions. As always, I never seem to have enough time. We got to get ready to make our run out of here. Don't forget our volleyball tour. We call it The Dig. You get a chance to keep up with all of the latest going on throughout the Southwest Athletic Conference. Our next episode will be due to launch on this coming Thursday. Be sure to lock up with us here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the website, OBN-Radio.com. We will continue this conversation in the morning if the Lord says the same, and He delays His coming. I am the radio guy, the Dr. Mike Prince. You have been listening to the Mike Prince Show on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. Don't forget, you can dial in on our message line. We're going to be at SWAC Media Day coming up this Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you got a question, comment, concern, dial in on the 24-hour message line, 713-570-6736. Let your voice be heard. Shout it out loud. The Mike Prince Show signing off for now, but we shall see you in the morning. Till next time, be blessed. We'll see you on the other side.